There's a lack of systematically just destroying offenses.
The chat, Chris, is loving systematical, by the way.
They like systematical?
Yeah, I think that's the most they've liked a phrase from you in a while.
Okay, that's good.
Systematical's really catching on.
Yeah. Yo, 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 what up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Connor Rogers here. Yeah, we got lots of systematical surgicality going to be going on here today, all right?
Systematical destruction.
I mean, is systematical really, isn't that a word? I mean, I don't know why.
It is on this show.
It is on this show. Okay, I know that.
You need your own clothing line with just like you're saying.
Yes. Well, Pete's been talking about doing stuff like that for 5 years now, right? But it's not going to happen.
Coming.
It's not.
Yeah, it's happening.
My wife actually recently has been like, maybe I'll make that my job and start to do that, right?
That'd be awesome.
Because she gets a kick out of hearing me say these stupid things.
I'm telling you it will work.
Yeah, I know.
I promise
I know. I need to do it. But yeah, I don't know why. Systematical just comes off on my mouth so easily. And, you know, what I'm trying to say is when I do say systematical surgicality, that's when I mean, hey, the system, they're abusing the defense, and the surgicality, the quarterback's just, 6 yards here, 10 yards here, 5 yards here. Oh, check to the run, 4-yard run, right? That's systematical surgicality, right? That's when you're like, oh, my gosh, the system's working in a capacity where it's just opening these guys up, and we're kicking their ass, right? So that's where that comes from.
We might have some of that today when we talk about Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
But we are not going to have a lot of that when we review J.J. McCarthy's shaky performance against the Bears. We're going to talk about Bo Nix and how he keeps finding a way in the fourth quarter. And as we always do on the Wednesday show, we got the Week 12 preview with what's more likely. So we'll get into that at the end of the show. Chris, let's start with J.J. McCarthy. This has become one of the biggest quarterback storylines of the entire season.
Yep.
Because, Kevin O'Connell has earned this reputation of, like, if you're a developing quarterback, this is the guy.
Yeah.
J.J. was a first-round pick.
Right.
He missed his whole rookie season. So, as you've said, this is his rookie year.
Right.
The turnovers with him, though, have been the story as his first year as a starter.
They've been the story. And I think, to even take it back further in like what you're talking about with J.J. McCarthy, too, and I think you said some of this when he was coming out, and this is why some people didn't like him. He'd never had the worry about the offense being on his shoulders at Michigan, right?
No, not even when they won the title.
And there's some of that where I go, hey, that's a good thing because he had to play like a pro. And when he did drop back to pass, it was like, whoa, it's 3rd and 8. I know you haven't thrown it a lot, and now you got to throw a strike. And he was capable of doing that, right? But at the same time, has he ever had the burden of the game on him to drop back and I have to be systematically surgical or make big plays like that all the time? No, I think that's still new to him to a degree too. So I think everything you're talking about there, we're in beginner phase mode. We are. I mean, 16 of 32 for 150 yards certainly should have been better. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, completions were left on the football field, right? Did he have a few drops too? Yes, he had a few drops, but I would also say within those drops, they're really kind of his fault too. He doesn't throw the appropriate ball. I'd like you to sit out there and stand 5 yards from J.J. McCarthy, and then he throws you a ball as hard as he can, and just see if you can catch it, because that's what happens sometimes. I mean, Hawkinson had a drop or two. Maybe Justin Jefferson had one or two where you just go, like, that ball is ridiculously hard. He's right here in front of you. You don't need to throw it that hard. So that's part of it, all right? So early on, the mechanics were off. And that's why balls were going all over the place. And when I said the mechanics are off, first off, J.J. McCarthy has a long motion. Okay, he has a strong arm. But it is a long, deliberate motion like we talked about in the last pod with Jared Goff a little bit, all right? But it's even longer than Jared Goff's. Then, in the game itself, right? I mean, hey, here's a smooth throw. He started the game with like, okay, it's smooth, and at the last second, I think you might have saw it. I read he gave it the steroid jerk because it was like smooth, and it was like, I got to throw it really hard all of a sudden. And it's like, what? You're not going to throw the ball accurate like that. You can't go, wait, I'm smooth, and then go crazy all of a sudden and think the ball's going to go where you want it to go. So not only was the ball like flying out of his hand where you're like, that's ridiculously too hard. Nobody's going to be able to adjust to that. It was hard to catch, and it's just not a smooth throw. So that would be the first thing I would say, in the start of the game. And then there's a little bit of a beginner phase of the offense. We were talking about it before the show a little bit, where I just go, it's a double whammy. The offense is kind of simple because we got the beginner training wheels on, right? They haven't unveiled the Kirk Cousins drop-back offense for him yet. And then, he's a rookie, like you said, so that's part of it. And then because of that, right, it's simple. defenses are all over it too. You got a guy in the secondary like a Kevin Byard or other guys like that. They're going, wait, I've been seeing these plays my whole life. I know I have this little area here, but I see this play coming. I'm going to cheat over here because I think he's going to throw that. So it's a little bit of a double whammy with what's going on with their offense right now too, between both of those things.
Let's take a look at some of this as well from McCarthy because, we're going to get inside the notebook. But before we do, I want to look at the interception.
Yeah, let's do that.
Second quarter, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left. The Vikings are down 7-3. This is a game. The Vikings defense is getting it done right now. It's a 1st and 10 situation here. So what does he see here, Chris, and where does this start to kind of unravel?
Yeah, so the first thing, and again, like we've been talking about a lot lately, deep crossers are the thing in the NFL right now, right? And this is the team that really was one of the Chiefs, Shanahan and the 49ers started all of this, in my opinion, where it's just like, hey, if you play action, you can throw deep crossers all game long, right? And this is going to be a basic play that we see all the time. Oh, look at this. Perfect
nice,
with the monitor.
fancy.
But on the bottom here, you're going to have Addison, who's just going to run the post route. And then up top, you're going to have Justin Jefferson run the deep cross route. He's going to run a little play action, McCarthy. Somebody's going to go in the flat. Okay. We're going to have Kevin Byard, as you see right here. Okay, Kevin Byard. He's going to rotate down and kind of be down in this area for the back that comes in the flat. This guy's going to go deep. Okay, so let's play the picture here, Pete. Let's go. Next one. Here's Byard, okay, right? We're in it's a man-to-man. Okay, and you can see here's Addison. He's going to release. He's going to run post. Justin Jefferson is working his way up, and he's going to run across the football field. We're in the middle of the play action pass. You see it? All right, so let's go to the next picture, Pete. Now, we're dropping back to pass. You can see Addison's kind of bending him out so he can then take it to the post. Jaquan Brisker is deep. There's not going to be the post route. He sees Justin Jefferson right now kind of leaning him, and he's going to break it across. And he's going, wait, this is what my coach told me I like. This is perfect, right?
Sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
but does the receiver have a little control of the depth that they could break in, or is it structured at an exact point?
It's pretty structured.
Okay.
It's around, it depends on what kind of deep cross it is, but it's either usually 12 to 16 yards is where you want to have that happen.
There,
a little wiggle room,
okay.
Right. But he knows when he gets to 12, he's got to start, he kind of probably pushed him vertical for a second, and now he's going to snap it across, right, and start to go on this angle. Kevin Byard, who has the flat here, right, this is a smart, very veteran player who's a ball hawk. He's looking, and first off, he's going, wait, I see the young rook, and he's just looking at this guy the whole time. He's going, I know I got this guy, but I'm in position here. If he catches the ball, I'll rally and tackle, right? So this is just about to start flipping his hips because he's like, man, he's staring down this guy so much. I just got to be ready for it. So go ahead to the next picture, Pete. Next picture, look what we got here. See, now he's going, wait, the eyes have never come here. He's still staring him down. Yeah, Justin Jefferson's there, certainly, but you could see Byard slowly starting to float back, and now he's going, wait, I could see him starting to throw the ball and cock the ball to throw it,
Look
right?
at the release.
Right.
I mean,
and it's long and deliberate.
Is long.
So he's just about now to start running because he's like, oh, gosh, he's throwing the ball to him, right? And you could see the post route, no chance for that, as you see here. And then let's go to the next picture, Pete. And there you go. Now, so the ball was a little late, too, on top of that, which everything is almost a little late right now. J.J. McCarthy's anticipation is not top-notch. He's a little bit, I want to see it, and then I'm going to throw the ball as hard as I can once I see it, right? But with all of that there, yes, he had him as far as Justin Jefferson, but this ball's probably completed too far across the field, or not completed, but intercepted too far across the field, and then he stared him down a lot like we talked about with Sam Darnold in yesterday's pod against the Rams, where you drop back and you have pretty good time and you have 4.5 seconds and you stare at one guy on the football field. Good safeties, guys like Kevin Byard, like, good night. There's no way you're gonna get a completion that way.
And that's the problem, is that you just saw Byard's instincts kick in, where he's like, okay, I can go make a play. We could take the risk here.
Exactly.
He's not even acknowledging.
He's not even acknowledging it, and he's willing to take the risk. He's like, okay, he throws the ball in the flat, like, we'll rally. He'll get 6 or 7 yards, but no lights ever went off JJ. So he was just like, I'm gonna go after Justin Jefferson, and that's where that was a veteran awesome play by Byard and a rookie kind kind of mistake by J.J. McCarthy.
So let's go inside the notebook, which kind of recaps a lot of the points you just made there.
Yeah.
I think the starting point, though, he's just got to develop different throws.
Right, we've been saying that since the start of the year.
Fastball.
It's every throw. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Every throw. So, like, there's no – and even within that interception we just showed right there, see – the ball could have been thrown earlier, but the line dropping backer, he doesn't have the confidence to kind of layer it over him and throw one of those banana balls where it's like, hey, threw it with still some pretty good pace, but there was a little touch on it to drop it over somebody. See, he's like, no, I want him to clear that guy and have a lane so I can just throw a laser 6 feet off the ground the whole way, right? And that's just, you got to have more there. So there's, like we've talked about on Monday's pod and everything, there's no flick of the wrist. There's no touch balls, right? The anticipation is not there at all. He's reluctant to throw deep crosses if he has to lay it over defenders, like you just heard me say right there, right? So there's that. And then short passes way too hard. What else did I do?
Not enough arm angles.
Yeah, not enough arm angles. That's the other thing I wanted to write. Throws short passes way too hard, makes it difficult to catch the ball, right? I think I wrote different. I meant to write difficult. I don't know what the hell I wrote there. And then not enough arm angles. Because on some of those short throws, right? And then, hey, here's a guy right here. Like, yeah, well, there's going to be a D tackle there too sometimes. Other guys, you got to be able to go, and still complete it. Or, and do that. Or, oh, gosh, I don't have a lot of room to throw here, but my guy's on a deep corner route. Oh, boom, and just do that. You can't be like, I'm going to wind up to do that and all that. You're going to get strip sack fumbled. It's just not good enough that way. And that's, like, not going to be fixed right now. That is something he's going to have to do as soon as the season's over and have to go back to the lab with a quarterback coach and start working on things like that. Because, again, to think you're just going to throw – you see the great quarterbacks in the sport right now. I mean, Mahomes has a laser. Allen has a laser. Lamar has a laser. But they can throw the ball and touch the ball into any garbage can they want whenever they want. And he has no semblance of that type of throw right now.
Can a professional quarterback really improve on accuracy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I think
if you're a natural thrower.
That's what I was going to say. If like most guys, it's like you got it. A baseline of
right. If you're a natural thrower, you can do it. Tim Tebow is never going to be able to be a really accurate thrower because he's not a natural thrower.
Right.
He's a athlete who played quarterback instead of a quarterback who's an athlete, right?
That's how Justin Fields is.
Exactly right. You're not going to fix that. It's not a gifted enough natural thrower of the football. But, yes, can you fix it? I mean, Josh Allen.
Perfect.
Josh Allen can't hit the broadside of a barn, right? He fixed a few things with the mechanics. Now you're going, damn, can he throw the ball into the keyhole from any position he wants whenever he wants? Yeah, he can. Because he's learned how to marry the lower half to the upper half. He doesn't have his arm wiggling all around, right? It's all connected all of the time. Baker Mayfield went through some periods of being really inaccurate too. And he used to reach, we used to talk about it on the pod here, he used to reach back for more. And it was like, you're throwing it 100 miles per hour. Why do you have to throw it 105, right? And that would compromise his accuracy. So, yeah, you can work on accuracy 100%. But you need the right people to be there with you on a day-to-day basis in the offseason, and then somebody to stay on top of you once you get to OTAs and go, hey, I've been working on this, quarterback coach, and I need to keep doing this because it's really got me in a good spot. And yes, so you can fix that stuff. You can definitely do it, but it's going to take, a good 10,000 reps of throwing the football in the offseason to get it where you want to get it to.
I think Jordan Love is another guy compared to Utah State.
There you go. Another great one for you.
You watch Utah State and you're like, well, I like the physical ability, but I have no idea.
Yeah, the ball was all over the place.
It was just like, it was wild.
It was wild.
And now
every throw might have looked different.
Right.
You were like, what the hell?
Right.
But he's natural enough. And does he still have some work to do? Yeah,
sure.
Like we talked about.
But he's come a hell of a long way.
Exactly right. Yeah. I mean, if you're open, he's going to hit you.
Yes.
So we don't worry about that anymore. I'm trying to think if there's anybody right now in the modern day NFL here that I can think of that really fits that mold. I'm not sure if there really is right now, but again, those
went through it or needs to,
or who went through it already, right? I don't know if there's anybody that jumps out to me that I look at and go, ooh, they had to fix some things and all of that.
I think Dak at Mississippi State was more like brawler quarterback.
Yes.
That would now I watch him and I never think like he's natural to me. And
He is.
As a prospect, I
Right.
remember his Senior Bowl. I was there. I was like, man, I like Dak Prescott because I like his attitude.
Yeah.
He's tough and
Right.
he get hit. But I'm like, I don't know how many quarterbacks throw like him.
Exactly.
And
The
now
throwing
I
was not
never
blow you away.
think that with Dak. I
Never.
think Dak's phenomenal.
He's phenomenal. He's surgical. He
Yes.
can be
Yes.
systematically surgical. He can make certain plays. He's got different arm angles. You're right. When he was at Mississippi State, that's why I missed on him too. Because
The
you were like,
NFL
oh,
did.
there's a good throw.
Yeah.
But then you were like, what the hell was that throw?
Right.
What the hell was that mechanic? It was a little all over the place. But at some point, somebody kind of honed it in on him a
Right.
little bit, and he's figured it out, and he's pretty much a machine now.
You never think about it with him anymore.
No, and this is one where we're gonna get done with this pod. I'm gonna go, I should have brought up this guy, or I should have brought up that guy. Those are people, but JJ McCarthy, I think, is natural enough. Like you brought up Justin Fields, you can bring up Trey Lance, right?
Yeah.
Those were guys that I said from the start. I go, I don't see natural ability to throw the ball. I see a strong athlete who can throw the ball really hard and far, but not a natural passer. And that to me is like, yeah, you're not going to, Trey Lance is never going to be that. JJ McCarthy, I still think has a chance to be that. I see enough naturalness there, but he's got to work on some things as we're talking about here, and we'll see where that goes.
You know who's one that it never gets discussed, but I think has still not made the jump to where it needs to be is Trevor Lawrence.
Well, yeah, I hear
Trevor Lawrence is very rigid and long.
you. Exactly right.
And, like,
I can be leaning
yes.
back and upright and stiff.
Some plays I'm like, man, that wasn't natural.
Well, that's why also. I mean, we're talking about the same draft here, and I know that's the draft I went with Zach Wilson, right, where I know I was wrong, but I was worried about those things with Trevor Lawrence. You
Right.
know that. I would watch it and go, this isn't as natural and slam dunk and wow like as it was when I was watching Mahomes or Lamar or even Josh Allen, which I think, again, I was like, nobody's good on Wyoming, and he's throwing in a blizzard. So, again, the ball is going to be off target. And they gave Josh Allen the green light in the college to just go, like, carry us because you're the only thing we got here. So do whatever you want. And that made more bad habits for him because he was just like, wait, I did a 360, I stiff armed somebody, and now I'm going to throw it 70 yards across the field. And it's like, well, that wasn't a very good decision, right? And that's what happened there. But I still got hope for J.J. McCarthy that there's work to be done.
This is a very quarterback-heavy edition of Simms Unbuttoned. We're taking our first break, but when we're back, we're talking about the guy that was taking 2 picks after J.J. McCarthy. That's Mr. Fourth Quarter Comeback, Bo Nix.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Let's take a look at the AFC West odds, courtesy of DraftKings. Broncos are 9-2, and because of that, they are the heavy favorite at -340. The Chargers are the runner-up at +550. The 5-5 Chiefs are a long shot at +600.
Well, and they should be.
They're scratching and clawing for a wild card.
They definitely are, and it's going to be work to get this wild card for them right now. It definitely is. It's going to be interesting, but it's crazy. It's weird to even look at it and see it. See the Broncos at the top of that division for as long as the Chiefs have been king and all of that, right? But the Oracle named Chris Simms called this.
This is one of your better ones.
It's
in a
one of my
while.
better ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
You really need to like hang your hat on.
I felt it, and again, I think a little bit of just pasta and meatballs of where the shelf life of this Chiefs team,
Right.
and my experience just being around football,
has to
talking to Denver coaches in the offseason, talking to teams that saw Denver in the preseason and all that, it all kind of just lined up to where, like, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this Chiefs football team totally. And, between me hearing from Broncos coaches going, hey, we're going to be really good this year, and then talking to teams that either practiced or played them in preseason, and them going, the Broncos could go to the Super Bowl, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it here. Yeah, I'm gonna buy in.
You know what I've enjoyed the most about this season is that it's been one of the more stark reminders in years that it is still about the team.
Yes, that's right.
Right. We are watching Josh Allen do everything he can, but the Bills are they're always a Super Bowl contender with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
but
right.
they're not
But-
the best team in the AFC. Right
Exactly
now.
right.
And you would view them going into the year like the Bills
Right.
have to be one of the best
Right,
teams. The
right.
Chiefs are 5-5.
Mahomes is maybe the greatest quarterback ever. They're 5-5.
Right.
It's more than this quarterback.
Yes,
That's something.
The Eagles win without asking
Without the
much of-
quarterback ever being in
every
a
week.
part of the game sometimes.
every single week.
Right.
It feels like more often than not.
But that's what we're trying to say. That's what our theme is here. That's what we like to do. Yeah, we love great quarterbacks, but this is a team sport, and we're not just going to prop up the quarterback. Just the team won, so it's the quarterback.
Yes.
That's not fair, and that's not right.
Well, and that brings us to the perfect team of this because it's amazing about the Broncos. They're really not rolling yet when you watch the Broncos, despite being 9-2. Bo Nix is the example of you don't have to be a superstar, but what you do when it matters most really stands out, and that's been the theme of Bo Nix's season. And Chris, you said something just fascinating when we were off the air. You said watching Bo after watching JJ, it just shows how much more advanced of a passer Bo is right now.
No question. Bo has anticipation. Bo has every throw you need in the book, right? Every club in the bag, however you want to say it. Right? I mean, Bo can do it all. He can touch it. He can sidearm it. He can throw a laser, right? He can, there's a big hole in the zone right here. I'm about to get pressure. Let me just throw a nice little touch ball into the hole. Oh, boom. My guy ran right into it and caught it. He's got great anticipation. So he's really got all the quarterback stuff. And when you watch him back to back, like you said, it just really jumped out because you go watching J.J. McCarthy and you're just going, and every throw's the same. And you're like, wait, Aaron Jones is 4 feet from you and you're throwing it like he's 50 yards away, where then you see Bo Nix and he's like, oh, here you go, back. Oh, there you go, receiver.
Right.
Catch it. It's going to fall right in your lap and do all that. And that just, it was very apparent watching that.
And this all goes back to one of the biggest combos around scouting right now is guys that have played a lot of football and guys that haven't.
Exactly
Bo Nix
right.
started for multiple years at Auburn and then started multiple years at Oregon.
Exactly.
And Bo Nix started as a rookie.
Exactly
J.J.
right.
McCarthy played 2 years at Michigan as a starter and did not play his rookie season.
Exactly.
I'm not making excuses for J.J. McCarthy.
No.
I'm not like some J.J. McCarthy, fan.
No,
or
you're saying this is a real evaluation thing here.
there is proof in the pudding.
Definitely is.
Of this.
100%.
Guys that have gotten to play and guys that have gotten to work things out at the speed of the college game and then taking it with them to the NFL. It feels like JJ right now is trying to work on those things while in the NFL.
Exactly, and that's hard. That is very hard. It really is.
Ridiculously
And then he got
hard.
hurt this year too, so that stunted the development a little bit. That's the big thing. I tell this to kids all the time. Like, stop worrying about, I got to go to Ohio State, or I have to go to the number one team in the state in high school, and I have to play there. First off, we're in an era where they're going to find you anywhere, all right?
Yeah.
They're going to find you. There's 9 million scouting services. There's people at every game, social media, whatever. So those days are done. I tell young kids in high school all the time, like, just go somewhere you can play. Don't worry about being on Bergen Catholic or Don Bosco because they're the number one team in New Jersey. Playing is the number one thing. Reps, play. Don't worry about when I go to college, I have to go to Texas or Ohio State. Yeah, that's great. But at the same time, make sure you're going to play because it ain't going to do you anything any good if you're sitting on the bench for 3 years and then you go, I played a senior year at Ohio State. Yeah? Well, you're not very good. You're going to be docked from that and you haven't played enough and the NFL's not going to feel very comfortable about you. And I think a lot of people lose that right now. I try to say this even to my own son. Play. Don't worry about, I want to be on this school or this team or any of that, right? It's about the reps. They're too important.
Well, and Bo Nix has carried those reps specifically into the fourth quarter. There's some kind of feeling with Bo Nix, no matter how quarter 1 through 3 has gone, that in the fourth quarter, everything can stay level-headed and calm. He's got 8 career fourth quarter comebacks. That's the most by a quarterback in their first 2 seasons since 1950. What are you seeing in the fourth quarter specifically, Chris, from Bo, that he's not one of these guys that, forget unraveling,
Right.
he's been better in the fourth quarter.
I think the big thing, right, is he just doesn't, he's not afraid of the big moment. I have no, magical formula I'm going to tell you about. I think the thing that I just look at is not afraid to make the big throw in the big moment. He doesn't shrink. He gets big and aggressive, right? He's not like, oh, gosh, this is big. Let me just be conservative and get the drive going. He's like, hey, look, my guy's one-on-one. He's got him by a step. All right, the defense is telling me to throw it there. I'm going to throw it there, right? That's what I love about him that way. Now, is there a little bit of something about, his ability to be better in those moments? Yeah, I think there is too. I can't put my hand or finger around that, but as we've seen with other great quarterbacks, sometimes it's like, wait, he missed that throw 3 times already today. But man, all of a sudden the big moment, he put it right on the money. So he has a little bit of that. He's got a coach that I think brings that out in him. And and defending Bo Nix too, I want everybody to realize this. First off, they're not that talented on offense. So and maybe you can look this up for me, but it certainly felt like Kansas City played man-to-man. It felt like the majority of the game because they were like, Denver can't run by anybody. What are we worried about? So that's one thing I think. And then you look at Sean Payton and the Denver offense. I don't sit there and go, oh my gosh, it's so creative and awesome and woo, man. Like, it's not one of the more creative offenses. I don't, again, I wouldn't put it in the category of some of the creativity of like the Colts, the Bears, the Lions, right? The Rams, the 49ers, some of the things they do, right? I wouldn't put it in that category. They have all the basics, and Sean Payton knows when to call it, right? But I don't sit there and watch them and go, oh, my gosh, this is so cool. And, oh, this guy's wide open. He just served it up for Bo Nix there. So that's where I want everybody just to pump the brakes on the hate of Bo Nix to go, they're not, even though they're 8-2 or 9-2, whatever the hell they are, 9-2, right? Their offense is not like this unbelievable superstar offense, greatest show on turf. And I think everybody's got to realize that a little bit too, because I think they go, wait, they're 9-2. It's Sean Payton, right? They should be awesome, right? And it's just, no, it's not quite that way. But he's got all the throws. He's smart as hell. And just is one of those guys that when the getting gets tough and the times are tough, he seems to lock in and make his best throws in that moment.
Yeah, and the use of bootlegs. He has an NFL high 66 dropbacks rolling left to right.
Well, thank you. You saw that in my notes, right? Yeah. Because I was like, I don't even know where the hell I wrote that, but I wrote like they have to lead the league in bootlegs.
Yes, they do.
So
66 dropbacks with bootlegs.
That's crazy. I mean, and again, that just there's not a lot here to their offense. It's play action. They run the ball. Okay, they got the basics of drop back, pass, but really they try to run the ball, and they are pretty patient with it most weeks to where, the bootlegs have effect. And, of course, he's a very good runner, and he throws the ball really well on the run as well, and they have receivers who can't get open. So in the bootleg thing, it just gives them a little bit of a chance to get one step in front of somebody and that get open that way. But, it's, again, like I said, they're not reinventing the wheel or anything crazy there in New Orleans.
Yeah, he's got 312 passing yards off of bootlegs. That's third in the NFL behind Darnold and Stafford. And I think that's because Darnold and Stafford have a lot of big plays down the field off the boots.
Right.
To JSN and Puka and Devontae.
Yeah, right.
So where Bo, when he rolls out, sometimes it's a little bit more controlled.
Yes.
It's not... always firing it down the field.
No, it's the basic bootlegs.
Yeah.
Where I would go like Sam Darnold and them, when they run the bootlegs, they use a lot of times have somebody like making a double move, and they're looking to like get him out there, get set up, and then throw a fire, fire the ball deep down the football field, right? So that's where, it's the basics from that department. And again, their offense to me is somewhat basic altogether.
And how about the big throws? I think notably the one we want to go through is the 48-yarder to Pat Bryant. This was in the third quarter. Kansas City has just tied the game 13-13. It feels like, oh, boy, here we go. Like, has Kansas City got us here? What happened on this big play, Chris?
Well, they come out. They're going to run a little bootleg play-action pass here.
With a heavy formation.
And you could see Patrick Bryant there, number 13 on your left. He's sitting there. 17 is Evan Ingram, right? I can't remember. No, I can't remember who 17 is. But either way, you got it. Patrick Bryant's there, all right? And they're going to run a little play action. You see Patrick Bryant's going to run like going to release inside. Maybe he's going to run to the post. And
17 is Little Jordan Humphrey.
Oh, it's Little Jordan Humphrey.
Very large wide receiver.
Evan Ingram used to be 17 when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now he wears number 1. I'm getting confused there. But okay, let it go, Pete. Let's see it here. So you see here, he's got the little motion, boom. There's your little play action boot, right? And this is kind of a designed like play action, and you have a chance to set up if you got it. And you see, this is basic. Everybody does this in football here. But again, instead of going like, let me throw the ball in the flat to Troutman, or let me throw the 10-yard crosser to Cortland Sutton, he goes, wait, I came out, they blitzed the corner, They blitzed McDuffie on the left side here. Patrick Bryant got down the field with a pretty clean release, and he's one-on-one with a safety named Brian Cook, and they're in trouble, right? And he throws a ball right on the money, and there it is, 13-13, where you just go, wait, the Chiefs have answered back. Man, can the Broncos keep answering the bell like this? I don't know if they can handle this pressure. And it's the second time when Mahomes threw the interception at 6-6 when they were going to score. The first play of that drive, he threw a big pass down the left sideline, I believe to Troy Franklin, if I remember right. So that was the first answer of the day where you're like, whoa, okay, damn, they're fearless. And then here it is 13-13, and you go, here's another big, can they get the momentum back on their side? And they take it back right away, right away. And I think that's kind of what they've done all year from that department, and that's where he's damn, cool in the clutch when he needs to be that way.
What I love about that look that you pulled out there is it's a heavy set, and all their big wide receivers are on their field. The two speedsters weren't. Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims are not on the field. It's little Jordan Humphrey, who's big, Cortland Sutton, who's big, and Pat Bryant, his whole game coming out of college was blocking and possession plays.
At Illinois.
And they run play action. So it's like, this is a run, or it's a short pass. And it's like, no, it's a shot down the field, even though it's not the formation you'd think.
This is when you use the phrase creatively simplistic, right? Because it's a simple play. But the psychology is we've brought these receivers in a lot this year, and we really run the ball. And he's like, Spags is going to expect that. He's going to scout us, and he's going to go, man, when they're in these personnel sets with these guys, they don't really want to throw the ball down the field, right? So that's where I think he plays that angle there with that one altogether. And that's where that is, damn big throw and a big moment. And, of course, wasn't his last big throw and a big moment in the football game.
No, he had he had the throw to Troy Franklin at the end that was just
insane.
He's been so good, I feel like, Chris, at identifying, okay, this looks like some variation of man, or the defender's back is turned.
Right.
And I'm just going to put the ball up there for my guy in the right spot.
I should have told Pete this is one we wanted to show in the pictures too, right? Because, again, this I think encapsulates everything we're talking about here. They run a max protect, very basic concept here. They're trying to get themselves in field goal position a little bit more. I think they thought, right, it's a big moment. Kansas City will play like protect the sidelines or take away. And Kansas City played man-to-man, which it seemed like they did for the majority of the football game.
It seemed like a lot of two-man concept.
It did, two-man or regular man. But either way, they were going to play that. And again, that speaks to I think where Kansas City's at too right now. Kansas City is just not that, like we've talked about Monday and whatever. They're not that special. Their team is just, there's not a lot of special players. So Spags, I think, is like, I got to load the box. I can't ever get to the quarterback with 4.
Right.
I got to do something creative with the front. So with all of that, he's having to play man because he's trying to go, hey, you guys play man, and then I'll try to do something creative with these other guys inside of here. It's a hard formula to win by against really good football teams. But the play you're talking about that sets up the game-winning field goal, I mean, yes, there's nothing there, right? I mean, nothing there. He doesn't panic. He's got a guy that's running a hitch route on the outside. The slot receiver's running a corner route. They're plastered. They're all covered like glue. He's got a little time. He realizes the DB covering Bryant, right? I think that was Bryant on that last one.
Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin, sorry.
Right, who he played with in college.
Exactly. So he's got a good feel for him. And within that, the DB's not looking, right? His back's turned. And he goes, okay, nice and calmly. Unlike J.J. McCarthy, throws a nice ball to give him some room to adjust. He basically threw a back shoulder corner ball, right? So I'm running to the corner. The guy's trailing me. And then I look back to see Bo Nix, and he throws me a ball like over here. And I just boom. And
right in his lap.
Do it that way. And that was all set up also by a clutch 3rd and 15 to start the drive where he scrambled and made a move to get it all going. So, yes, he's got a little magic that way. And he's definitely cool under pressure, plays his best in those moments. And I think that's a lot because of his coach who probably gives him the guts to be that way too.
So Denver 9-2 atop of this division, and they just keep getting it done in the fourth quarter. They've been phenomenal in these one-score games. We have more quarterback film review. This one's a little different. Brock Purdy's return with the Niners, Chris. It didn't take the fourth quarter to get things going. they blew the doors off this Arizona defense in the first half.
It blew them off. I mean, just totally. It was, that
Wide
was one of
open
those
people everywhere.
Well, I mean, everywhere. It's one of those where you're just like, man, Arizona, it's really gone south in a hurry here. Like, it's like, holy crap, they don't even look like the same team they looked like 4 weeks ago when they were competitive and everything there. They got a game like this and a game like the Seahawks here in recent past where you just go, they didn't show up. Not only did they not show up like emotionally, they didn't show up mentally either. They're making mistakes. They're overplaying things, everything. I mean, we talked about, like, on Monday, I mean, first off, they start the game with a 99-yard kick return, so that gets them like, one play touchdown, boom, you're down 7-0. But then the very next drive is just like, I mean, first off, I think this is the way I should say it. Arizona was so worried about the run game and I feel like overplaying the short passing game that they just left everything else open. So, like, Brock Purdy drops back to pass the first few times. They run play action, and it's like there's 7 guys around the line of scrimmage. He's throwing a curl route to Juwan Jennings or whatever, and you just go, yeah, he's sitting in a huge hole. He's wide open. Then they have another play. They send McCaffrey into the flat, and it's like they don't cover the corner route behind it. And it's like, oh, hey, you're wide open. Boom, another big pass play. So I was coming into this going, hey, let me see what Brock Purdy did. Maybe he changed their offense. Maybe, Shanahan had more guts to call different plays where I go, nah, it really wasn't that much different. It's just that, Arizona didn't play good on the defensive side of the ball. Arizona was way too aggressive on play actions and anything of that nature to where you're like, whoa, are you overplaying it? And I think they gave, in some aspects, the 49ers too much respect in the run game early on to where it was just like, there's going to be people wide open if you play it like that. So that's where it was just a little concerning for Arizona and a great start for Brock Purdy.
One thing that does seem different whenever Brock is on the field, George Kittle's involvement.
I hear you.
There is something there.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is schematically or if it's just the feel, but Kittle is so involved in the game whenever Brock starts.
Purdy has, I think, a connection with him. Purdy where I feel like he separates himself maybe from a Mac Jones or any of those guys is just got a really incredible feel for defenses and what's going to be there, right? Like he's just got an anticipation of what's going to be there. And, I've said this about other quarterbacks. One of his great gifts is like when I watch him sometimes I go, whoa, gosh, that was amazing. He got to that guy that quickly and like is in the process of throwing the ball where you're like, I'm just watching on the screen going, wait, what's going on here? And he's already figured it out and like, oh, this guy's going to be open. And you're like, whoa, that was high level right there. That's where he's special. And that's where I think maybe it can come in handy with Kittle over the middle and doing stuff like that. It's just great feel, anticipation for what the defense is going to do. His ability to read and react on a defense, I think, is very special that way. And I think that's why Shanahan loves him. He's got some of that Kirk Cousins of like, he almost sees it before it actually happens, right? It's like a sixth sense he has. And I think that's where he's as an elite part of his game.
All right, we're going to take one more break. When we're back, we're going to preview Brock's upcoming game against the Panthers with our game of what's more likely to preview Week 12. What's more likely, our preview for the upcoming week. But before we go there, Chris, let's turn back the clock.
I like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. The Bills' offense has multiple turnovers or 0. You and I both went with 0.
Right.
They actually had 3.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because you wouldn't think that just looking at the score of the game.
No, definitely not. I mean, we were going like, we feel like they'll overcorrect because they turned the ball over against the Miami Dolphins. That was not the case. Right? It was the 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. And I promise you, Josh Allen could have thrown 3 interceptions in the first quarter. He went into a little bit of like, whoa, is he going to be crazy today? And then he kind of reined it in.
The shovel was a wild
oh my gosh, wild. Exactly right.
What's more likely, Justin Herbert has 300 passing yards or 2 interceptions. You and I both went 300 passing yards. I think any human would have against Jacksonville, and boy, were we wrong. 81 passing yards.
That was an ass.
Stunner of the weekend.
It was the stunner of the weekend with how it went down. Like I'm not going to say, okay, Jacksonville won. I'm stunned, but to win that way, It's one of those where I'm definitely going to go back and watch the film here in the next 24 hours because I'm just
happened.
like, what did they do to that Chargers offense to get it like that?
I just think the Chargers are not competitive on the offensive line.
No, that's
not
the biggest problem. And the Jaguars have a D line that's way better than people realize, and they're aggressive with some of the stuff they do up front too.
What's more likely, JSN has 150 receiving yards, or Puka Nacua does. Chris, you went with JSN. I went with Puka. JSN had more at 105. Puka had 75, but no one was getting to 150.
No one was getting to 150.
Game.
No,
but still,
not.
JSN with 105. Good call by you. Broncos sack Patrick Mahomes 4+ times, or 2 or fewer times. This is the classic meet in the middle. Chris, you went 4+. I went 2 or fewer. He was sacked 3 times. Right in the middle. So our last one, Jahmyr Gibbs has a 40+ yard run, or Saquon Barkley does. We both went with Gibbs.
Yep.
And Gibbs, so this was run.
This
was run. Gibbs only had an 11-yard run.
Right.
Barkley had 14. Gibbs had the 42-yard catch.
Yeah, Gibbs had 100 yards receiving.
Yes.
Right? So we just didn't know the screen game and the swing pass was going to be such a big thing, right? But he definitely had the more effect on the football game.
Yeah.
And again, that's what we've been talking about with the Eagles and what they do on the offensive side of the ball. It's annoying. It's frustrating to watch them with all the talent they have.
So let's run it back for week number 12. Thursday Night Football, the 7-3 Bills at the Texans, who are 5-5. Now, as we sit here and record this,
still not, right?
We don't know if C.J. Stroud.
Gosh.
We don't know.
Gosh.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. There is a chance. He's officially ruled out. Okay, so he might return next week, because I guess the short week.
This is incredible.
I thought there was a chance he'd be back.
I mean, he got hurt early on in the Denver Bronco game, and here we are. We've missed 2 games, and now we're going to miss 3
games.
We're going to have a third one, and big games for the Texans.
Right, this is their season is on the line every week, it feels like. So what's more likely? Josh Allen has 4+ touchdowns, or the Texans have 150 rushing yards. Allen had 6 touchdowns last week, but Houston allows a league low 16.3 points per game. Buffalo allows 153 rushing yards a game, but Houston's they're not a great run offense.
No, they're not a great run offense. Pete does a great job of making these hard, right? But I don't think anybody's capable of scoring 4+ TDs on the Houston Texans. So that's where I'm just going to go no. He might have 2. And he might have 1 rush. I'm not going to go 4+. Not against this defense, as you know. I think it's the best defense in football. So I'll go with the Texans have 150 rush yards, even though I don't love that one. I just think there's no way Josh Allen has 4+ TDs.
I'm going to go with Josh Allen. I'm going to go with Josh Allen.
Bastard, you.
There's bias in for me for this one. I had one of my plays last week was Woody Marks to have 60 rushing yards. It was a slog to get to 44. I do not think, even against the Bills, I just don't know if the Texans can run the ball to this capacity.
I hear you there. I hear
150. But like you said, this is a brutal task with the Texans defense. Let's get 2 tush pushes for Josh Allen and 2 throwing touchdowns.
You could get that too.
The 6-4 Steelers at the 7-3 Bears. What's more likely? Caleb Williams has 300+ passing yards, or the Bears have 175 rushing yards. The scoop on this one is the Bears have 147 rushing yards. That's second. They average 147. That's second in the NFL. Pittsburgh allows 106 rushing yards a game. That's in the top 15 in the NFL. Caleb Williams has yet to have a 300-yard game, but the Steelers allow a league-worst 261 passing yards per game.
Right.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, something's got to give. I'm going to go with Caleb has the 300+ yards.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. Even though, again, I don't think I'd throw money on that, but the Bears, I like their run game a lot. I do think that they do a pretty good job of staying patient with it. They're really good that way. I think that their run game is good enough here where Pittsburgh's going to be scared a little bit and commit too much to it.
Interesting.
And then, so I think this is a week where it could happen. And the Bears being at home, hopefully the weather is good enough to where it's conducive to throwing one. But I like the 300+ passing yards more than I do the 175 rush yards.
I think I'm with you on this one. As good as the Bears' run game is, I know he hasn't done it, but Caleb Williams, it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah,
and
right. They've been in 270s and 280s a lot.
Yes.
Right?
And the Steelers, the defense has really rebounded recently. I still don't love this secondary at all.
I think that's fair.
The Bears match it. They have enough weapons. It's going to come down to how Caleb plays, of course. He's been really inconsistent this year. But 175 rushing yards is a lot. I'll go with the more likely pass of the passer getting to 300. The Colts are 8-2. They're at the Chiefs, who are 5-5. Chiefs backs against the walls on this one. What's more likely, Daniel Jones throws an interception or Patrick Mahomes does? This is going to be a well-reinforced Colts secondary in this game.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones throws an interception here. Just because, one, they're aggressive on offense, and Kansas City right now is aggressive on defense, to where I just feel like one of these times he's going to have pressure, come off a play action, try to squeeze the ball down the field somewhere, and it'll be an interception that way. It's an interesting matchup, though. Just with the way the Chiefs play on defense, I mean, as we know, the Colts pose problems for whoever you are. And they do a good job of just about everything, and especially marrying their run game with their pass game and everything they do off of that. I certainly think they can have some big plays in the pass game too. But this is also a team in the Colts. They don't like to play a ton of man-to-man. They're going to play zone, and I feel like that's where Kansas City thrives a little bit right now, because then they can use their short passing game and pick you apart a little bit. They're having more problems when teams go, no, we're not going to let you throw the short passing game. We're going to play man-to-man, and now they're kind of forcing them to throw the ball down the field, and they're just not that great at it. But I still will go Daniel Jones throws an INT.
Me too, even with Mahomes in this mini rut, because he has 4 picks in 3 games, which is hilarious. That's how high we hold him in regard. When it comes down to it, I think this is going to be a shootout, number one. Both teams will throw a lot. When you ask Daniel Jones to throw a lot compared to Mahomes, I have to go with Jones making the mistake.
I hear
That's
you.
like what, just 101.
Just basic
simplicity.
Exactly right. Sometimes the
right. Don't
obvious
overthink.
answer is the right answer.
Yes, the guy that throws more interceptions throughout his NFL livelihood.
Right.
I'm going to take him in this spot. The Eagles at 8-2 go to Dallas, who's 4-5-1. Dallas trying to revive this season. What's more likely? Jalen Carter has a sack, or Quinnen Williams does. Jalen Carter only has 1 sack this season, but he does have 9 quarterback hits. Quinnen Williams has 5 sacks this season, and he had 1.5 in his Cowboys debut. Chris, I'm going to take Big Q on this one. I think he's pretty fired up in that uniform. I think we've seen Jalen Hurts, it just doesn't move like he used to all the time to escape. And I think this is one where I think the Cowboys are going to be better than that 3.5 line suggests. So I'm going to go with Quinnen Williams, who he gets a lot of attention like Jalen Carter, but nobody deserves more attention than Jalen Carter.
No, I hear you there. But Quinnen Williams is damn good. I'm going to go with Jalen Carter. First off, he's one of my man crushes in the NFL. I think he's going to get there this week because I don't think that Dallas will be able to run the ball. I think Dak will hold the ball in the pocket, wait for George Pickens and
big
company.
Plays.
Yeah, and I think that'll lend it finally to Jalen Carter getting there. The other thing, too, is, like you said, Jalen he's definitely not running and scrambling quite that way, but he does do a good job of getting out of sacks, right? And maybe throwing the ball away, or he finds somebody on the sidelines, right? And they toe tap, right? That's where he's good. That's kind of where my mind is at with that one.
Sunday Night Football, this is a beauty. The 6-4 Bucks at the 8-2 Rams. The Bucks have back-to-back losses. This is a huge game for them. What's more likely? Baker Mayfield and Matthew Stafford both have 3 touchdown passes, or both have an interception. Stafford has 27 touchdown passes. That leads the NFL. Baker has 17. That's 10th.
Yeah.
Stafford has only thrown 2 picks this year. Mayfield has thrown 3. Rams are coming off a game where they had 4.
I know. And because I could see this. I'm going to go with both have an interception.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that. I have a hard time thinking Baker Mayfield will throw 3 touchdown passes against this defense, right? Yeah. They might score points, but I think a lot of this Rams defense, and I don't know if their offense, again, the teams that have done a good job throwing the ball in the Rams are kind of like short passing surgical teams, right? That's not what the Bucs are. So I'm going to go, and then I think there's going to be so many plays from Matthew Stafford down the field that he'll be like a little loose with it every now and then and go, I thought I was going to hit another 40-yarder here, right? So I'll go both have an interception here. What are you going to do?
This is the most 50-51 on the board.
Yeah.
Stafford doesn't throw picks.
Right.
And this should be a good opportunity for him to throw enough touchdowns. When it comes down to Baker, I'm going to take the 3 touchdown passes.
Okay.
I don't think they'll both do it.
Right.
I think Stafford throws 3 touchdowns in this game. Devontae will have 2 of them on 3 catches like he always does.
Right.
You're right, though, with Baker. And Bucky Irving might be back in this game.
That would be
that
huge.
would lean on the run even more for them.
Yeah, well, that could open up some plays for them.
I'll be different and take the 3+ touchdown passes.
Good.
The Bucs have been in some high-scoring games.
They definitely have.
The Bills game, the Seahawks game.
This is where I get into the saying a little bit of this. This is where they need Bucky Irving and they need Chris Godwin back. Well, I think I don't don't think they can trust their defense, right? No. I think they're going to win more. They're going to have to win shootouts. I think that's where they're about to go. I worry about the Bucs D.
Our last one is Monday Night Football, the 6-5 Panthers at the 7-4 San Francisco 49ers. What's more likely? Bryce Young has over 250 passing yards or under 200. He had a franchise record 448 on Sunday, but he's been under 200 in 8 of his 9 other games. The Niners allow over 352 passing yards per game. That's the 8th most in the NFL. Wow. I'm going to go with the over here, Chris, because I think he will have to. I think the Niners offense will be surgical in this one with Brock Purdy, and I think Bryce Young is going to be forced to throw to our guy T-Mac, Teterow, and McMillan.
Well, first off, I want to go. San Francisco doesn't allow 352 yards per passing game.
Oh, Pete, I was going to say that, and I was like, how can that be 8th?
Okay, thank you. That's all right. Pete Demoleta. Either way, all right. Either way, it's a lot of freaking yards. 250 is a lot, right?
352 would be historic.
350 would
when
be
I read it, I was like, that can't be
Salah's getting fired if it's at 350.
Yes. No matter who's out there.
I'm going to go under. I'll go under. I'm going to go under 200.
Rico game?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, and you know, I think this 49ers defense and some of what they do schematically will be a little bit of a learning curve for Carolina. So, yeah, I'll play that angle right there. But I don't feel good about that either one.
No,
because
that's a hard one.
Yeah, well, I worry, like you said it right. You worry about the 49ers going, oh, gosh, we're getting pushed around so much here. They worry about the run game. That's what happened with Atlanta last week. Atlanta was so worried.
Sold out.
They just sold out. Exactly right. To where it was like, oh, my gosh, you're in a mismatch down the field with any throw we throw. But, yeah, I'll ride the 49ers and Salah having a game plan here to stop that. All right, so we got some differences there.
Yeah, it's good to be that way.
Good. I like Pete. Keep track of these. This is fun. I do like to go back and kind of, look at it. And
it makes you laugh.
It makes you
laugh.
Like,
Justin Herbert threw for 81 passes.
I know, right.
You're like, that'll never happen.
Exactly right. Yeah. Exactly right. And thanks to Pete for making it as hard as possible and to make us look as stupid as possible. We do appreciate that, as always.
And giving me inflated stats on the 49ers defense.
Pete in my ear goes, you got it. You got it, Pete. Yeah, thank you, Pete. All right, everybody. Thursday pod, me and Florio, Picks podcast. All right, come in, tune us out. We'll be here. Tune us out. Come in.
Tune us out.
Tune us in.
Tune in.
Tune in and come hang out with us. All right, that's, I think, what I wanted to say. Hey, thanks a lot.
Great week.
You were systematically surgical as a host today.
That's my goal.
Just so you know.
I want to play within the system.
You were amazing.
Execute. I don't want to be a superstar.
The surgicality was amazing.
I'm not asking for $50 million.
Yeah, you're the man.
Yes.
You're the man.
I'm the Mac Jones, hopefully, of the podcast.
You're good. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you as always.
Always.
All right, everybody, be good. You know where to find us. Subscribe, rate, review. We'll see you. You know where to find us. Monday live, 10 a.m. Tuesday live, 2 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday pods on tape. Just find us, okay? Peace out, mofos. We'll see you next time. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.